Hello, everyone. Frank Sanya here. Today is a great day. I'm so excited to shoot this video for you. Okay? And the topic is a question. Okay? And the question is this: what is stopping you? What is stopping you? It's a legitimate question. Don't ignore what I just said to you, please. I beg you in the name of God. All right? Okay? And what do I mean by that? Okay? All right? Um, have you ever felt this way? It looks as if something is stopping you. You can't see it. You don't know what it is. Okay? You know, you want to do something really bad, and you almost try to crawl out of your skin, and it looks as if you can't even move. There's a word for it. And it's the word what? Bondage. When I first experienced this phenomenon, I remember vividly. Um, I was working with this couple. They had a house, okay, and they wanted to move, okay, all right. And you see this, all right. Um, they want to move. One of them want to move, and the other doesn't want to move for some reason or the other. But when they come to you, they tell you that they want to move. Okay? As you begin to work with them, you begin to notice certain things. Okay? All right? This one, I quickly pay attention to it. I saw it. Okay? He wants to move, really, truly move. And she didn't want to move. She just wanted them to remain where they are. Okay? All right. I took them out this Saturday. We found this house. It was the house. Everything that they told me was in this house. And this guy was so excited. And we were talking about numbers and down payment, all this stuff. And she blurted out, I am not kidding you. We are not buying this house. And he turned around to her and asked her why. And she said, we are not just going to buy this house. This is not a time for us to buy now. And believe me when I tell you the words that came out of his mouth, he blurted out. Why are you stopping me? He said. And I was there. It was very intense. I'm not kidding you. And she quickly said, well, I'm not stopping you. I just don't think this is the right time to buy. And he said, you are stopping me. He said that. This was in 1996. Okay? I'll never forget that day, and as long as I live. Okay? All right? A year later, in 1997, okay, I had been in this country since 1979. I came here in 1979, like most people. But I never went back to Nigeria until 1997. Okay? All right? And I remember vividly that when I got home, okay, in the neighborhood where I grew up, okay, my mom had moved, but when my parents just separated, my mom moved into a townhouse, and my mom was still living in the townhouse where I grew up as a teenager, okay. And that day, I walked out to go look at the neighborhood that I grew up in. And I'm sure, I'm sure you've probably been where you grew up and you wanted to see what else has changed, okay? And I began to see people that I grew up with, that they have never left where they were born. Not only just where they were born, their circumstances, their condition in life had not changed. I am not kidding you. I didn't know what was going on, but something in my spirit tells me this doesn't seem right. These same guys that I grew up with, we play soccer together, nothing has changed about them except for the fact that they are older. Okay? I ran into some of them and I told them, like, oh, where is this person? Where is this person? They'll tell me, oh, well, we haven't seen this person in a while. Oh, yeah, this person, I know this person where he lives. Okay? All right? Okay? We got in the car. Okay? We went to one of these friends that I grew up with. Okay? And let me tell you something. He came in a nice neighborhood where we all grew up with. When I got to his house, I'm not kidding you, his condition was worse than when I left Nigeria. And just like anything else, you know what they were asking for? They were asking me for money. Okay? And I gave them money. Okay? And I went back home and I was troubled in my spirit. How can this be? The life of these people have not changed. When you look at people in general, okay? All right? Okay? Uh, Believe me, I am not kidding you. Go back to where you grew up with. Or trust me, don't take my word for it. Go spend some time within the last 5, 10 years. The people that you know, some people, where you see people that have achieved more in life, you see people it's like nothing has changed about them except that they are older. And I didn't know what this was, this phenomenon. I didn't know what it was until when I started studying the scripture, God, okay? And I began to study other human beings, that I began to really see it. Okay? You know what our biggest problem is as human beings? Okay? We don't study anything. We don't study God, the Creator, and we don't study one another. Okay? I always say to people, when you look at life, there are really only two study at the end of the day. They are they are the two most important study. And it's the study of God, the Creator, and the study of other human beings. And rarely do most people ever do it. Okay? All right? So, phenomenon. Okay? Do you know what that word means? Okay. Let's take a look at what the word phenomenon is. Okay? Phenomenon. Pronunciation.
Phenomenon.
Okay. Right. Okay. A fact or situation that is observed, okay, to exist or happen, especially one whose cause or explanation is in question. Okay? A remarkable person, thing, or event, phenomenon. Okay? Righteous. Watches. Phenomenon. Okay? An observable fact or event. Okay? Watch this one. Something that exists and can be seen, felt, tasted. Okay? Watch this phenomenon. A fact, occurrence, circumstances, observed or observable, to study. Okay? Watch this. Something such as interesting fact or event that can be observed and studied, and that typically is unusual or difficult to what? To explain. You see it, you can't explain it. You don't know what it is. But something tells you something is going on. Okay? What is stopping you? You know what stopping is? Until I found out exactly what it is. Okay? There's a word for it, and it's the word bondage. Okay? Bondage. Okay? Watch this. Bondage.
Bondage.
Okay? A state of being a slave. Watch this. Bondage is the tenure or service of a alien or, or serf or enslaved person. A state or practice of being physically restrained as by being tied up, chained, or put in handcuff. Okay? Bondage. A state of being another person's slave, which is what stoppage is. You see it. I'm not kidding you, you will see it. Okay? Are you in bondage? What is stopping you? Something is, definitely. But when you see most people, you know what it is? They don't know, or they may know. If they do not know, you know what end up happening? They tend to blame other people for how their life turns out. The reason why they are not succeeding is the government. You see it. It's my boss. It's my husband, my wife. The achievement to move forward in life, bondage to be held back. When I began to really study it, I realized without a doubt in my mind that it was something spiritual. It wasn't physical, it was spiritual. Bondage. Bondage. Watch this. There are two types of bondage. There is what I call temporary bondage, and everyone experiences this. This is when you are trying to do something, okay, and it's not happening. And every time you try to do it, it's like something is just holding you back. You're trying to get customer, trying to put deals together, they fall apart, or something is going on. Okay? All right? Okay? But it's temporary. Okay? All right? I'm not talking about that type of bondage, but it is still a bondage. And everyone once in a while experiences that type of bondage. Watch this. Bondage, a lifetime bondage. Bondage for so long to be enslaved, not to achieve, not to move forward in life. Okay? All right. So, I was talking to another agent about 10, 15 years ago in my office. A real phenomenal producer. Okay? Right? You know, and we got to this conversation of success. Okay? And she said to me, she said, you know, Frank, I have a sister. I grew up in Nebraska. My sister is where she is now with her husband. Okay? All right? I left. She stayed back. She's there. Okay? Her husband has a job. She has a job. From time to time, I can't tell you how many times I have to send her money. Okay? All right? Bondage. What causes it? Okay? It's the first thing I teach in my course. And it is not what you think. I am not kidding you. Okay, let me give you a place where you can see it. Okay? All right? I want you to go to Isaiah 59 and read Isaiah 59 from the beginning to the end. You will see why and the reason for bondage. Okay? Now, I want to talk to you about, can you get out of bondage? Absolutely, you can get out of bondage. Okay? Right? And I'm going to tell you the number one the remedy for this, because if you do not get this one, nothing happens. I'm not kidding you. Okay? Watch this. Go to God first, because God is the source of everything. Okay? He is the one that removes spiritual bondage. Okay? Not to move forward in life. Okay? You see it, believe me sincerely, you see it. but we don't pay attention to it. You see it in athletes, you see it in movie stars, you see it in small business, you see it in corporate America. You see it. Okay? How do somebody playing football or basketball or baseball make tens or if not millions of dollars? Hundreds of millions of dollars. And they have nothing to show for it. You see people that come from the ghetto. Okay? Go to professional football or basketball. And you go take a look at them 10, 15 years, and their condition is no different than where they started. I can show you many athletes. This is not the time to point anybody out. Observe it. You see it in your own family. You see it in your relatives. It's there. It is there. I went home last year to go see my dad. My dad is going to be 100 this year. And I saw it again without a doubt. I beg you in the name of God. You can be free. I always say that real freedom comes from God. True freedom comes from God. That's where it comes from. So, how do you get rid of it? First, you go to God. Second, as simple as it is, I am not kidding you, you acquire knowledge. You acquire knowledge. I have seen it. I am not kidding you. You see it in people. You went to school with them. You look at them that who this one would never become anything. And you go take a look at them 10, 15 years now, they're the CEO of a company. Or they have their own business. Or you see them own a radio station or a TV station or something of such. Or a developer. Or a dynamic real estate agent. Okay? You can't get out of bondage. Go ask anyone. The person that gets out of bondage is God. And then you begin to acquire knowledge. You begin to acquire human knowledge and spiritual knowledge. As it relates to human knowledge and spiritual knowledge, is what I teach. It's not one or the other. Okay? All right? And I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to show you. I'm not the one that sets you free. God is the one that sets you free. I see people, they come. Okay, where their life was great, their life turned upside down, and they're back again. And it can happen to you. And if you are stuck right now, that's the real remedy I know for it. God and knowledge. That's it. And this is what we teach here. Okay? Right. Watch this. If you like videos like this, please, I beg you, subscribe. All right? If it doesn't make sense to you, don't worry, leave. No hard feelings. Okay? All right? Okay? All right? If you are struggling right now in your business, pick up the phone, call us, schedule your appointment. Okay? Let's see what you are doing. What do you got to lose? Nothing. Okay? We either can solve your problem, okay? Or show you at least what to go or where to go. All right? There's no cost, there's no obligation to you at all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know this, and I will continue to say, God loves you, and He wants to prosper you. Click the link, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much. God bless. Have a great day, and have a profitable day. Bye-bye now.
Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, every